hunting itself that you are opposed to in all forms. Would that be right?
I think that the hunting at the ranches and the hunting everywhere else, to me, is degrading and violent.
Kill the bird! Just kill the bird! Kill the bird! This man is killing birds!
I just want to know why you want to kill deer.
Because I eat them.
Why?
Because I eat them.
What did deer do to you?
These animals you've killed want to live as much as you or I do. In fact, isn't this just a rationalization for murdering innocent creatures?
If you care about animals in trouble, why are you shooting at them or eating them?
I notice that a lot of people nowadays like to take a dump on hunting. For an understandable reason. I mean, you kill an animal in the process. But there are multiple ways hunting can help the environment. I might even make a video on it. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to tell you some stories that I had while hunting, and hopefully you'll understand it just a little better. The year was 2023. I finished my hunter safety and got my hunting license. I ended up drawing a muzzleloader deer tag. So my dad and older brother were excited that I was going to go deer hunting with them for the first time. The day before the hunt was spent preparing, making quick loads, cleaning the gun, that sort of stuff. And it felt like it was Christmas Eve for all of us. We woke up early the next morning and headed for the hills. We saw plenty of deer, but none that I was interested in shooting. We spent multiple days in the mountains, searching for the right buck to shoot. Multiple days of waking up early and going to bed late. Until one morning, we found the one. We were driving through and we saw a herd of deer. My brother pulled out his binos, looked up, and saw them sitting on a hillside. When he said, "I see a buck that you'd want to shoot," a feeling I cannot explain hit me like a massive wave. When I aimed my gun, and before I took the shot, I felt a feeling I had never felt in my life. It felt different. And when I pulled the trigger and saw him go down, a feeling hit me that I also have never felt before. It felt as if I had been in the desert my entire life and I just found a pool of water. And then when I got closer and saw him laying dead on the dirt, I felt a mix of feelings. It felt like a mix of guilt, accomplishment, and relief. I felt guilt for an understandable reason. I mean, I had just ended this animal's life. I felt accomplishment for a goal met. A goal of hundreds of pounds of food and sustenance that will be in my freezer for nearly a year. I felt relief after spending hours on the shooting range and days in the mountains. And I had just got that weight off my shoulder. From that point, I knew this one deer will provide me and my family and friends with protein, sustenance, and essential vitamins and nutrients for nearly an entire year. And I am still enjoying some of him to this day. Something about food nowadays, you have basically no idea where it's come from. You have no idea what was put in to make it. You have basically no relationship with it. This applies even if you are vegan. When I cook up a deer steak and eat it, I know exactly where it came from. I know exactly what it went through. I know exactly what had to be done to obtain it. And when I eat a deer steak, I think of the journey that I went through to get it. When I eat from him, I get a feeling of content, satisfaction, and care. I feel extremely grateful for him. And if I could meet him in heaven, he'd probably hate me, but I would tell him what he meant to me and my family, and how grateful I am for him to provide for my family like he did. Of course, he would still probably hate me. Of course, it wouldn't change anything. but I thank him anyways for what he did. In that same year, I drew a muzzleloader elk tag. I spent nearly an entire week in the hills looking for an elk, hiking through the ragged terrain. Just me, my father, my brother, and the land. Eventually, I ended up getting close enough for a shot at an elk. I felt a renewed feeling that I had not felt since the deer hunt. I look at the elk through my scope and started to squeeze the trigger. The gun went off. The elk jerked his head up and trotted away. I had missed the elk entirely, leaving me empty-handed. We returned to the spot the next morning to search for blood just to be sure, though it was soon clear to all of us it was a clean miss. We continued searching for elk that week, but I did not manage to see any more for the rest of the season. Part of me felt disappointed. Part of me knew it was probably for the better, since I still had deer meat to eat. But I was still left disappointed. So why the heck did I enjoy that hunt just the same, if not more, than my deer hunt? Was it the time I spent in nature? Was it the time spent with my father and brother? Was it the feeling before the shot? Was it the challenge? Was it the journey? The truth is, it was all of those. I love nature, and I love animals. I love my father and brother. I love the feeling of adrenaline. I love the purity of the challenge. I loved the journey through the hills and forests of Utah. I loved all of those. And are any of those absurd or evil to love? No. No, they are not. And I can't wait to do it again this year. Thank you for watching.